Hi everyone! It's been such a long time. I'm back with another video. For those who don't know me yet, my name is Nalusha and I'm going into my third year now at Warwick for maths. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was moving into university. So it's September. I want to say congratulations to all of you who got offers and got into the universities that you wanted to go, and well done to all of you for completing your A-levels. That must be a huge relief now. So let's just get straight into the video. Today what I want to talk to you guys about is packing. Packing can be quite difficult because I don't think any of us will have moved out of the house for such a long period of time. Now, there's a couple of things that you need to think about, and the first, which is quite important, is how are you going to get to university? Are your parents going to give you a lift? Do you have any friends or other family members that might be able to help you out with that? And also, if you don't have a car or something like that readily available, do you need to take the train? Because taking a train means that you might have to think more carefully about your packing. Now, of course, everyone goes to uni and they're like, oh, don't worry, I'll just need some clothes and the cooking stuff and all that kind of thing. It's going to fill up your car quite a lot. I mean, I remember kind of when I went to university, my mum's got a very small car and it was very, very packed. So we managed to squeeze everything in, but it's quite difficult, and especially because I wanted to take my bicycle, we then had to buy a bike rack and sort that out as well. So there's just stuff you need to think about. In terms of taking things to university, you have to remember that while it's not the most convenient thing to do, you can always make multiple trips. Obviously, especially for someone like me who lives in London, it's quite far to go and ask my parents to take me up twice. So I tend to take just about enough stuff that will fit in the car for one trip. Now, what kind of things do you need for university? Well, I think what everyone remembers is the same stuff that you need every day at home. So your clothes, you need cooking stuff, which is potentially something quite new. You will need your own set of cooking stuff. Warwick campus does not do catered accommodation. I'm sure you all know that now, and I hope that you've all applied for accommodation. If you haven't, please check out my other video on accommodation. But Warwick does not offer cater accommodation, so what that means is that you do need to cook for yourself, and that's okay, that's fine, but that means you need stuff to do that. And that could be things like maybe you're not going to cook too much, so maybe just a simple frying pan, some utensils. What I always like to bring is kind of like a microwavable pot sort of thing, because you can do stuff like steamed broccoli very easily. Just put some broccoli into the bowl, some water, and then it will cook when you put it in the microwave. Things like microwaves will be provided. Kettles are also provided for your first year. If you're moving into your own house, however, kettles, toasters, often even stuff like duvet covers, pillows, you don't get any of that. So you do need to pack those if you're moving into your second year accommodation. So if you're moving into a house or something like that. But obviously you need to check with your landlord. They might already provide stuff like that. But I know for my house, we needed to buy a kettle and a toaster. So what else do you need? I think one thing that a lot of people forget is, at least for me, my mum, when I go on holiday, always packs shampoo and conditioner and stuff like that. You do need to bring stuff like that, but that's stuff you can buy when you're at the university. So there is a Tesco's nearby in Cannon Park. It's about 15 minutes walk at worst, I'd say, from most of the accommodations. So that's definitely something you can think about getting after. And also I would recommend that while your family's there, ask them perhaps if they can help you do a shop at Tesco's so that you don't have to carry all your stuff back, because your first shop will tend to be a little bit more expensive, a little bit heavier, because you do need to buy things like the shampoo, stuff like butter that you'll keep for a long time, but you do need to buy to start off with, will also be there. Other things that you can bring in terms of cooking is, I like to keep my toasty maker. I got that as a Christmas present because my mum had one at home and I kept eating from it, so she bought me one for Christmas. So some stuff like that. Also rice cookers, if you're a big rice eater, rice cookers just make it so much easier. So things like that you can bring, and there will be outlets for you to use in the kitchen so that you can use that kind of thing. So that's kind of it for cooking stuff. The other things you need to think about is what do you need for your course. Now, I actually got some messages from people asking about whether they should bring a laptop or what kind of things that particularly math students use for lectures. Now, I'd say if you're doing a writing subject, laptops are quite helpful. If you're doing a math subject, it's really difficult to format your numbers in such a way where it's easy to kind of read off of a laptop or even keep up with the lecturer, because especially maths, it's just maths. They don't use any words. You can't feasibly keep up with the lecturer unless you are very, very good at using something like LaTeX, which I'm not. So what I've seen a lot of people use is an iPad. Now, I understand that's a big investment to make. So if you're like me and you would rather write on paper, then make sure you bring paper, lined or squared, it doesn't matter anymore. You can do what you want. You're at university. You can do what works for you or what's easiest for you. Some people I know will have kind of big pucker pad notebooks that they kind of have one side for one module, and then they flip it over and use the other side for a different module. So that's one way of doing it. What I do is I buy square paper, kind of like the ones you would see in like W.H. Smith. I'll show you, 1 second.
5 hours later.
Oops. Okay. So, this isn't it. Okay, well, what I'm trying to say is you can do something like this, where you get a folder, use some dividers for different modules, or you can have individual folders for different modules. So I can do the second thing, so I have different folders for each module, and then you can get the kind of squared paper, and you know, they just kind of tear out quite easily. So that's what I use. I would say you have to be quite organized to do that, because I do tend to end up with a pile of paper at the end of the year that I'm just kind of sorting through. But that's another way of doing things. So obviously if you do want technology for something like maths, then iPads tend to do the trick. They have functions, and actually recently, because of COVID, the lecturers have also been using that. So that's all you need really. Cooking stuff, uni stuff, and personal stuff. Make sure you bring decorations. You can personalize your rooms. There are rules about not pinning things in the wall. Sometimes they say not to use blue tack. You can get kind of non-staining like hooks and stuff like that for the walls. But I mean, any damage you do make, you have to pay for. So just be careful about that. But you can get fairy lights. A lot of people like that. Some people like to do kind of posters or tapestries. Make sure you bring pictures of your family. I don't see it enough at university. If you're quite close with your family, I think it helps to see them kind of on your wall or wherever. And also remember, your parents are just a phone call away. If you're missing someone, you can just call them. So I really hope that this helps you. If you have any questions about moving in, please feel free to contact me. Recently I put up my social media onto my YouTube page, so please feel free to contact me there. The Our Warwick community is also a great place to contact me, although I do tend to reply a bit slower on there. So if you are looking for a quite quick response, then please contact me through Instagram. Okay, so that's all I have to say for today, but I am really interested to see what university you guys are going to and also kind of what course you're doing. So I hope that some of you will leave that in the comment section, that information, if you don't mind. So I just wanted to finish off by saying a huge well done to all of you for getting through your A-levels, and I hope you're all very excited to go to university. I hope to see you around on campus. Bye!